One day, in a peaceful mountain temple, a revered Zen master gathered travelers who come to this temple for wisdom to an unexpected lesson. With calm, steady steps, the master entered the meditation hall, carrying a large empty glass jar tucked under his arm. His eyes gleaming with gentle wisdom, the travelers watched with curiosity, sensing that this lesson would change their life. The master placed the jar on a low wooden table before them, and from beneath his robe, he brought out several large, smooth stones. In silence, he began placing each stone into the jar, one by one, until no more could fit. He turned to the travelers and asked softly, "Is this jar full?" The travelers looked, and seeing no space left, nodded and replied, "Yes, master." The master gave a knowing smile. From within his robes, he then pulled out a small pouch of pebbles and began to pour them into the jar. The pebbles trickled down, filling the spaces between the large stones. He asked again, "Is this jar full now?" Some of the travelers hesitated, beginning to understand, while others nodded and said, "Yes, master, now it is full." But the master reached once more into his pouch and produced a small bag of sand. He poured the sand into the jar, and the grains slid easily into the tiny spaces left between the stones and pebbles. He asked them again, "Is the jar full now?" By now the travelers smiled, catching on. They replied, "Perhaps not, master." The master's eyes sparkled with approval. Lastly, he took a small pitcher of water and poured it over the sand, filling every last space in the jar. Only then did he agree, "Now, the jar is indeed full." He looked at his young traveler, his gaze soft yet filled with purpose. "This jar," he said to this world, "represents your life. The large stones are the essential things, your family, your health, your deepest dreams. If everything else were taken away and only these remained, your life would still be complete." He continued, "The pebbles are other things that matter, like your work, your home. And the sand represents the small, daily tasks, the trivial things that often occupy much of our time. If you fill your jar with sand and pebbles first, there is no room left for the stones." The master's voice grew even softer, urging the travelers to listen deeply. The same is true for your life. If you fill it with small things first, there will be no room left for what truly matters in life. Place your stones in first, the things that are close to your heart, that give your life meaning. Prioritize time with your loved ones, your health, and your dreams. After a pause, a woman raised his hand and asked, "Master, what about the water? What does it represent?" The master smiled, nodding at the wisdom behind the question. "Ah, the water," he replied gently. "The water represents the unexpected joys, the laughter with friends, the quiet moments, the simple pleasure of sharing tea. Even when life seems so full, there is always room for these small moments of connection and peace." With a final look at travelers, the master concluded, "Do not fill your days only with sand. Begin with the stones, the things that give you purpose. The pebbles and sand will fit in around them, but let the water flow freely. Allow space for joy, kindness, and connection. Remember, life is not just about how much you fill your days, but about making each moment count." And so, dear friends, as you go about your life, remember to place your stones in first. It's not about having a busy life filled to the brim, but about leading a fulfilling life, rich with experiences that truly matter to you. It's about not just counting the days, but making the days count. It's about balancing the stones, the pebbles, the sand, and the water in a way that enriches your life. Let every day be filled with meaning and leave room for the moments that bring you true peace and joy. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, breathe deeply, prioritize your stones, and may your jar of life overflow with meaning and serenity. Life could change at any moment. Maybe the moment is this. If you like to include me in your journey, subscribe to Stoic Stories. Thank you.